Hello everybody, this is Tim here again to another video, this time for a review for Chucky Season 2, Episode 5. Now, last episode I thought was just kind of alright. I liked it, but it's more of an alright time waster. This one, I'd give a solid 3 out of 4. I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't love this episode, but it was good. Overall, this just pretty much confirms my thoughts on this series as a whole. It's a good series. It's not great, this Chucky series isn't, but it is a good series. Um, Yeah, overall as a whole so far for the entire show, I'd give it a solid 3 out of 4. It's a good show. But yeah, this episode pretty much picks up. You got Glenn who stayed behind to like help his mother, Jennifer Tilly or whatever, who he thinks is his mother, but it's actually Tiffany Valentine, and she actually reveals her real name to Glenn later on in the episode, which was pretty cool. You find out that Jennifer Tilly has actually been like kept hostage, like in the Tiffany doll form since Seed, which doesn't really make any sense why she would keep her around. It doesn't even really make sense, honestly, why Tiffany is like continues to live like Jennifer Tilly's life or whatever. That doesn't really make sense either. To be honest, it really would make more sense if she just like took her money and just ran off and just like did stuff with Chucky or something. It doesn't really make sense that she's trying to like pretend to be Jennifer Tilly or whatever. But we're past that point now, and we're still going with that. I mean, we're used to it now. We've accepted this as the storyline, and she kills Jennifer Tilly's sister here, Meg, in front of like the real Jennifer Tilly who's inside the Tiffany doll, and you get like a funny joke about Jennifer Tilly inside the Tiffany dolls, like, uh, I signed bills and checks for you and all that, and I do voices on Family Guy for you still, which was kind of funny. Yeah, and the fight between Buff Chucky and like Good Chucky is kind of wishy washy until the end. I like it. I liked it when Good Chucky like kicks Buff Chucky up against the wall or whatever, and then throws all the knives and pins him to the wall. That was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, Good Chucky is apparently still good unless he's like going super undercover and he's like literally like trying to go so undercover he's like he willing to kill his own kind, which that does seem like something Chucky would do. But at the same time, I think Don Mancini is going to have Good Chucky stay as Good Chucky, but I don't think Good Chucky's going to survive past this season. I think he's going to die by the end of the season. You finally get to like the end of the episode, and Jennifer Tilly, who's Tiffany or whatever, ends up like taking the Glenn doll and showing it to Glenn, is like going off to meet Glenda and brings the Tiffany doll with her that the actual Jennifer Tilly is inside of. So it seems like Tiffany, once again, kind of similar to like the ending of Bride of Chucky, is going on like a quest to try to make things right or whatever with her children, and maybe even like give Jennifer Tilly her body back and go back into the doll body, which would make sense because that seems like something Tiffany would do. That's always been my problem with this Tiffany character. They've been like back and forth on her character development and stuff. Like by the end of Bride of Chucky, she changed her path. She just wanted to die and save the two lovers at the end and kill Chucky and herself. But when she wakes up and sees Chucky, she's like, "Oh no, that fight with Chucky never happened. We're best friends again, me and Chucky." That didn't really make any sense, and they've just been playing her character like wishy washy like that ever since. But they never really dive into why she's like that. But yeah, Tiffany really never needed to come back after Bride of Chucky, to be honest. Her character was completely fulfilled in that movie. But as far as like having her back at this point, yeah, it seems like they're trying to repeat the same beats that she did at the end of Bride of Chucky, where she's been through so much now that she's gonna start trying to like make things right. Which she can never make things right. Tiffany can never be like a hero or anything, but you could get to the point now where she tries to like somewhat redeem herself by trying to set things right or whatever by putting regular Jennifer Tilly back on her body and all that. Which that does seem like what they're going to do, even if she doesn't do it. Even if Tiffany doesn't put Jennifer Tilly back into her own body voluntarily, that seems like what Don Mancini might be leading up to is putting like Tiffany back into the doll again and just having her be a doll from now on or for the rest of the show. That does seem like what they're hinting at going with here. And I'm fine with that. I think Tiffany was more interesting as a doll. I never really needed like Jennifer Tilly to be herself and this whole like conspiracy thing from Seed to Chucky where Tiffany takes over a nearly identical looking body to herself that is actually Jennifer Tilly. I never needed that silly factor. And if they're writing that out, like finishing that off, I'm fine with that. Chucky himself, Brad Dourif is great here as Buff Chucky. By the end, he comes like back to life. The Buff Chucky does, which is pretty predictable, but it's cool that he comes back to life and he's like talking to this crazy religious nun or whatever, where he's like, she thinks he's like a sign from God or something, and is like going to do whatever he says. So they're setting that up for the next episode for her to be like, the crazy helper. Um, And of course, you got the black chick here who's supposed to be like the good Catholic who represents like the good people in religion and all that. And then you got the Devin and Jake are like having problems. I don't really like teen melodrama, but here it kind of makes sense because they're fighting over the fact there's no good Chucky. You shouldn't be trying to be friends with Chucky. But at the same time, Devin should realize whether he trusts Chucky or not that they need the good Chucky's help. And if he's willing to help, then who the hell cares? But you can still not trust him and keep a short leash on him. But if you're willing to, but you should be willing to use him if you can. But he's just so blindsided by his hate, while Jake is just kind of seems like he might be slightly blindsided by just wanting to believe good Chucky that he's good, and he actually baptizes the doll, which was kind of funny. Um, because the doll, like good Chucky's like, I don't want to be evil, and so that was kind of funny. And then one thing leads to another. They see some photos on the good Chucky's phone before he was good, and you see like doll body parts out in the woods, and they follow it, follow the body parts, and you see like the bald-headed Chucky from the beginning of season 2 is like calling himself Colonel now, and he's working with the psychiatrist. Which I know people online have like made all these theories about who's this psychiatrist. I really don't think she's anything, any important character. I think she's just like some crazy woman that Chucky just like made friends with because he's a doll and just got her to do his bidding. I really don't think it's any deeper than that. But yeah, he's like there with Andy and he's like torturing him, probably for some kind of information or something on where Kyle is or whatever. But he's like torturing Andy, and he's wearing like ears around his neck, kind of like Dolph Lundgren from Universal Soldier, which is pretty damn funny. Um, it's supposed to be like, of course, like a joke about like Apocalypse Now, you know. He's like, "Call me Colonel," and he's like, "Yeah, you know, got a shaved head." It's pretty damn funny, and that's where the episode ends on. It was pretty funny ending. But yeah, overall, it definitely feels like we're getting near the home stretch of this season for all these plot lines to kind of be wrapped up. Yeah, overall, I'll give this a solid 3 out of 4. Good, solid episode. The Devin character was like forced to read the Bible or whatever, where it's like got the passage against homosexuality. Now, whatever your religious thoughts are, and whatever religion you are, I mean, that's fine. That doesn't matter to me, or lack thereof religion, whatever. That's everybody's own personal choice. But of course, we got to have like some religious bashing. He has to like rip pages out of the Bible and then sling it because he's like, I guess, anti-religious or something, or anti at least the Bible or something. I know it's because he's like gay and he's going against that word. I mean, all that condemnation of homosexuality or whatever. But it's just weird to me because if voodoo exists in this universe, that means magic exists, so that means like God is obviously real because Chucky has died over and over and went to hell. So, there's obviously a God in this world of some sort. But yeah, that's that's just kind of funny when you think about it. But yeah, overall, I'd give this a solid 3 out of 4. It was good. I liked it. But yeah, it definitely feels like we're getting near the home stretch. So thank you guys, and I'll see you again.